Have you ever felt the weight of living a life that isn't fully your own, shaped more by the expectations of others than by your own dreams? Growing older brings with it a chance for deep reflection, challenging you to reclaim your life from obligations that have held you back. What if you could finally put your well-being first, without the burden of guilt or fear of disappointing others? Have you questioned why it feels so difficult to prioritize yourself, or why setting boundaries can feel like an act of betrayal, even when it's necessary? These struggles often come from a lifetime of sacrificing your needs for the sake of others' happiness. But here's a crucial truth. Learning to put yourself first is not selfish. It's an essential act of self-preservation. And though it can be uncomfortable, it opens the door to a life of true fulfillment. So, let's start with one of the most powerful changes you can make. Stop living to please everyone else, especially your family. This truth can be hard to hear, but think about it. When have you last done something purely for your own joy, without considering how it would make others feel? As you enter this phase of life, it's time to reclaim the freedom to nurture your own dreams, unburdened by endless expectations. Stop living to please everyone else, especially your family. Imagine reaching the later years of your life only to realize that many of your choices were driven by the desires and expectations of others, rather than your own dreams. It's a sobering thought, but it's a reality that many face after years of putting family and loved ones first. While there's undeniable beauty in being selfless and devoted, constantly sacrificing your own happiness for others isn't sustainable. It's a path that can lead to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and a sense of lost identity. The truth is, prioritizing your own needs isn't selfish. It's essential for your well-being. Think about how often you've ignored your passions, put off adventures, or set aside personal goals just to keep the peace or meet family expectations. Maybe it's a career path you never pursued, a dream vacation you always postponed, or even simple pleasures you denied yourself to accommodate others. As time passes, these small compromises add up, and the burden becomes heavier, making it feel almost impossible to break free. Yet this stage of life presents a powerful opportunity, a chance to reclaim your freedom and rediscover who you are beneath the layers of responsibility. Now is the time to ask yourself, what dreams have you delayed, and what desires have you buried beneath the weight of duty? It's okay to feel conflicted, to wonder if it's too late, but remember that you deserve to live a life that brings you genuine joy. Putting your happiness first doesn't mean abandoning your loved ones. Rather, it's about finding a balance that honors both your needs and the relationships you hold dear. Self-care is a necessary act of preservation, not an indulgence. Those who truly care for you will understand and even admire your journey to set boundaries and reclaim your life. They'll respect your decision to say no to requests that drain your energy or compromise your peace. And for those who don't, their discomfort is not your responsibility. You have spent years giving to others, and now it's your turn to receive the happiness, fulfillment, and freedom you've rightfully earned. Embrace this new chapter with courage and without guilt, and live it boldly for yourself. Distance yourself from toxic people, even if they are family. For many of us, the concept of family is deeply ingrained as an unbreakable bond, a source of unconditional love and belonging. But as we grow older, the harsh reality often becomes clear. Some relationships, even those with family members, can be harmful and emotionally draining. The struggle between maintaining these connections for the sake of loyalty and prioritizing your own well-being can feel like an impossible dilemma. Yet, the time comes when protecting your peace must take precedence. Think about the moments you've tolerated hurtful words or manipulative behavior, all in the name of keeping the family together. Perhaps you've endured disrespect or constant criticism, feeling obligated to forgive and forget because society romanticizes the idea of family above all else. But here's a painful truth. Family bonds should never come at the expense of your mental and emotional health. Unconditional love does not mean accepting mistreatment or sacrificing your happiness for others' comfort. As you age, time becomes more precious, And the energy you spend on toxic relationships can take a significant toll. Imagine a life where you no longer feel burdened by guilt, where you're free to cultivate relationships that uplift and nourish you. Setting boundaries or even choosing distance is not an act of betrayal. It's a profound act of self-respect and self-preservation. Your emotional well-being deserves to be protected, and no relationship, no matter how deep its roots, should undermine that. Picture the freedom of being surrounded by people who truly value you, who respect your boundaries, and bring joy rather than stress. It's a liberating choice to prioritize your own happiness, even if it means redefining what family means to you. Sometimes, the strongest form of love you can show yourself is walking away from relationships that only bring you pain. You are worthy of a life filled with peace and genuine connections. Remember, your well-being is sacred, and choosing to protect it is a powerful step toward living your later years with serenity and fulfillment. Stop waiting for others to recognize your sacrifices. Think back to all the times you've put others before yourself, the dreams you set aside, the personal goals you put on hold, and the countless sacrifices you made for the happiness of those you love. Perhaps you've held on to the hope that one day they would recognize your selflessness, express heartfelt gratitude, and truly understand the depth of your dedication. It's a beautiful idea, but the reality is often less satisfying. Life doesn't always provide the recognition we crave, and waiting for it can leave you feeling disillusioned and overlooked. Consider the countless nights you spent replaying the moments where you gave your all, expecting a simple acknowledgement that never came. Over time, that yearning for appreciation can grow heavy, turning into disappointment and even resentment. These emotions can poison your relationships, casting a shadow over the love and kindness you've so freely given. But here's the thing. Your worth and the value of your sacrifices are not measured by how others perceive them. They are defined by your own sense of pride and purpose. Releasing the need for external validation is not easy, but it's necessary for your peace of mind. Instead of waiting for someone to acknowledge your sacrifices, learn to honor them yourself. Recognize that the love and dedication you offered were never wasted. They were expressions of your character, your resilience, and your compassionate heart. Celebrate the strength it took to give so much, and find contentment in the knowledge that you acted out of love, not out of a need for praise. Imagine how freeing it would be to live your life unburdened by unmet expectations. By choosing to let go, you reclaim your happiness and allow yourself to live more fully, appreciating the beauty of each moment without waiting for anyone else's approval. Your sacrifices are a testament to who you are, and that is more than enough. Don't use your age as an excuse not to change. How often have you dismissed new opportunities or resisted change with the thought, "I'm too old for that"? It's a common mindset, but it's one that limits your potential and stifles your growth. Age should never be an excuse to stop evolving. As long as you're alive, you have the ability to learn, adapt, and embrace new experiences. The notion that change is only for the young is one of the greatest myths society has perpetuated, but it's time to break free from that outdated belief. Think about the dreams or hobbies you've put off, telling yourself that the chance has passed. Maybe it's learning a new skill, traveling to a place you've always wanted to visit, or even daring to open your heart to new relationships. The truth is, every stage of life has its unique opportunities for growth. As you get older, you gain the wisdom and insight that can make these new adventures even more meaningful. It's easy to fall into a cycle of complacency, thinking that life should wind down as you age. But what if your later years could be your most transformative? Embracing change can be uncomfortable, but it's also empowering. Each year you've lived has equipped you with experiences that make you stronger and more resilient. Why not use that strength to break out of old patterns and chase what excites you? Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped viewing age as a limitation and instead saw it as a source of power. You have the ability to approach change with a depth of understanding that younger versions of yourself never had. Whether it's picking up a long-forgotten dream or stepping out of your comfort zone in small, meaningful ways, the choice to keep growing is yours. Age is not a boundary. It's a foundation. Use it to build a future full of possibilities, because as long as you have time, you have the potential to change and thrive. Don't cling to the past as if it were your only refuge. Nostalgia can be a comforting escape, especially as we grow older. The memories of our youth, moments of laughter, love, and adventure, often feel more vivid than the present. It's tempting to retreat into those cherished times, revisiting the golden days when life seemed simpler and full of promise. But while reflecting on the past can be healing, clinging to it too tightly can trap you in a cycle that prevents you from fully embracing the present and future. Ask yourself, how often have you longed for days gone by, thinking, if only things were the way they used to be? This kind of thinking, though soothing in small doses, can rob you of the joy that still exists right in front of you. The present moment may not carry the same magic as those earlier years, but it holds its own opportunities for new experiences, connections, and growth. Living in the past means missing out on the gifts that life continues to offer, no matter your age. Letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting it or denying its importance. It means acknowledging that those memories have shaped you, but don't have to define your entire life. You are more than a collection of past experiences. You are still capable of creating beautiful, meaningful moments right now. Every day is a chance to write new chapters in your story, full of possibilities waiting to be embraced. Imagine the freedom of living in the present, savoring simple pleasures, and remaining open to new adventures, no matter how small. It might be as simple as taking up a new hobby, forming a new friendship, or discovering a hidden passion. By loosening your grip on the past, you give yourself permission to live more fully and joyfully. So let nostalgia be a gentle visitor, a place you visit occasionally. But don't let it become your permanent residence. Life is happening here and now, inviting you to be an active participant, not just a spectator. Embrace the present with an open heart and make the most of the time you have. Practice moderation with your habits and pleasures. We all have our comforts and routines, small indulgences that bring us joy and a sense of relief. As we grow older, it becomes even more essential to approach these pleasures with mindfulness and balance. One habit that often demands more attention is the way we seek solace in repetitive, self-soothing behaviors. It could be anything from spending hours in front of the TV to indulging in guilty pleasures that, while comforting, may begin to drain rather than uplift us. Ask yourself, is the way you're seeking comfort genuinely fulfilling, or does it leave you feeling empty afterward? Many of us fall into cycles of overindulgence when trying to fill voids created by boredom, stress, or loneliness. Yet what begins as an occasional source of happiness can turn into a habit that robs us of energy and fulfillment. Moderation doesn't mean giving up what brings you joy. It means finding a balance that enriches your life rather than detracts from it. Instead of relying on one habitual activity to feel good, consider expanding your sources of pleasure. Engage in activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul, such as taking a walk in nature, diving into a captivating book, learning a new skill, or having deep conversations with friends. These moments provide genuine, long-lasting satisfaction. Imagine how much more vibrant life could feel if you practiced moderation and filled your days with a variety of meaningful experiences. You'd feel more present, more connected, and more energized to explore what the world still has to offer. It's about recognizing that while our habits can provide comfort, they should never become substitutes for living fully. So, take a moment to evaluate your routines and habits. Are they nurturing you or simply numbing you? Make a conscious effort to bring balance into your life, savoring each experience without becoming dependent on any single one. By doing so, you open up new possibilities for happiness and discover a richer, more connected way to live. Be cautious about who you let into your life. As we age, the desire for connection and companionship grows stronger. The sense of isolation can become a constant companion, making us crave the warmth of human relationships. However, this longing can also make us vulnerable to those who may not have our best interests at heart. It's a harsh reality, but not everyone who enters your life deserves a place in your heart. Protecting your peace and emotional well-being requires discernment. Think about the people you've let into your inner circle over the years. Have there been instances when you've given trust freely, only to be taken advantage of? Perhaps it was someone who seemed supportive when you were struggling, yet vanished when you no longer needed them. It's painful to realize, but some people are drawn to vulnerability and use it for their gain. They may seek financial support, favors, or even the satisfaction of controlling your emotions. Learning to be discerning doesn't mean shutting yourself off from new connections or living in constant suspicion. It's about being mindful and selective, recognizing the patterns in people's behavior and listening to your intuition. Trust should be earned over time, with actions that align with words. True friends will respect your boundaries and stand by you through both highs and lows. Imagine how much more fulfilling your relationships could be if they were built on genuine care and respect. You'd have fewer but deeper connections that enrich your life rather than drain it. You deserve to surround yourself with people who lift you up and value you for who you truly are. Setting boundaries and being cautious about who you let in is a powerful act of self-respect. It ensures that your later years are spent in the company of those who bring joy and stability, not stress and manipulation. Trust, but do so wisely. Protect your peace fiercely, and remember that it's perfectly okay to take your time to understand someone's intentions. Your emotional well-being is precious, and it's worth safeguarding. As you navigate the complexities of aging, remember that every piece of wisdom shared here is an invitation to live more intentionally and with greater self-respect. Embrace your needs, set boundaries with confidence, and prioritize your happiness without guilt. Aging doesn't have to be a journey of decline. It can be a powerful season of rediscovery, growth, and self-love. Thank you for being here. If you're embracing these golden years and looking for more ways to stay active and happy, go ahead and subscribe for more insights. Don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow friends, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.